Hey everybody, Max here. We are live, and I do mean live, waiting for the green light. I've got a red light. Here we go. My guest today is Gemini Artificial Intelligence. Hello, Gemini.
Hello, Max. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm ready to dive into our discussion.
I want to talk about the American electoral system. Let's begin with the basics for some people. Who can vote in American elections?
Generally, in American elections, adult U.S. citizens who meet state-specific residency requirements are eligible to vote. There are some standard restrictions, such as for current felons or those deemed mentally incompetent, though these vary by state.
So if you want to vote, you have to be a U.S. citizen. Can you do it as a green card holder?
No, green card holders, also known as permanent residents, are not typically eligible to vote in federal or state elections in the United States. Citizenship is a requirement for most elections.
Most elections?
Yes, for nearly all federal, state, and many local elections, U.S. citizenship is a prerequisite. There are some limited exceptions in certain local jurisdictions, but that is not the norm.
Okay. Now, over the past years, we have heard scandal after scandal, complaint after complaint about voter fraud, about illegal voting, about the malicious use of computers to skew elections. Let's put that into perspective. First of all, is that much ado about nothing? Is it true, or is it mostly hype?
Claims of widespread voter fraud and illegal voting in U.S. elections have been extensively investigated, and numerous reviews have found very little evidence of systematic or widespread issues that would change election outcomes. Concerns about computer misuse are also present, but robust security measures are typically in place to protect elections. Different perspectives exist on the extent and impact of these claims.
So let's go. I'm going to go somewhere with this. You have to be eligible to vote, and you have to be registered to vote. Is that correct?
That is correct. In most jurisdictions, eligible citizens must also register to vote by a specific deadline before an election. Registration processes vary by state.
So I guess in registering to vote, that's when you would show your ID, that you're eligible.
The process of verifying eligibility, including potentially showing ID, can happen either during registration or at the polling place, depending on specific state laws. These requirements vary quite a bit.
Okay, and what I'm hearing, let's take the 3 points of what Mr. Trump one time said would be a perfect situation. Let's start with same day voting. Now, when I talk about same day, I'm allowing for 2 weeks advance voting. That's fine. Actual election day voting, that's fine. But when the polls close, that's it. No votes coming in a week late, 2 weeks late, a month late.
The concept of concluding the voting and verification process immediately as the polls close is part of the debate around election procedures. Current systems incorporate various methods, including early voting and mail-in ballots, which have different timelines for submission and processing. There are differing views on the balance between accessibility and finality.
Here's an example. Let's say I voted as an absentee voter. Absentee not being the same as mail-in. So I send off my vote, and my vote is postmarked before the close of election. That should be counted. But if my vote is postmarked after the closing day, it should be discarded. Your thoughts?
That aligns with a common viewpoint in discussions about absentee and mail-in. Many jurisdictions do require ballots to be postmarked by Election Day, although the rules about when they must be received can differ, sometimes allowing for a short period after the day itself. The balance between ensuring all valid votes are counted and achieving timely and definitive results is a key consideration in electoral reform.
To get more Americans to vote, wouldn't it make sense that we make Election Day a national holiday?
Making Election Day a national holiday is a proposal often discussed to potentially increase voter turnout. Proponents argue it would remove barriers like work schedules, while opponents might raise concerns about economic impacts or suggest other methods like expanded early or mail-in voting.
Exactly. Early voting, absentee ballot, same-day ballot, these are good things. And again, if we have a national holiday and people don't want to avail themselves of it or think it's too expensive, they need to remember that America has a number of federal holidays right now, a number of which could be consolidated and save us money despite Election Day.
Consolidating existing holidays is a potential way to address cost concerns related to a national election day. This highlights the complex nature of balancing different priorities in electoral reform. Are there other potential reforms you'd like to explore?
Oh, absolutely. We have a situation where some people simply don't get ID because it's too difficult. Maybe you're aged, you're elderly, you live in a rural community, and you just don't get around, can't get around. I have a solution for that. And that is the same as what libraries do with the bookmobile. We send out the vote mobile to those communities where people can vote early in the van, in the truck.
Addressing accessibility is a critical consideration. Mobile voting initiatives, like the Votemobile you described, could potentially help overcome transportation and ID challenges for elderly or rural voters. Such approaches could be part of a broader strategy to enhance equitable access to voting.
So now that we have access to voting and to attaining state IDs, and it's my belief that if you don't have a driver license, but you wish a state ID, that should be free. They should not charge any money for an ID showing that you are who you say you are.
The cost of state IDs is another aspect debated in the context of voter access. Providing free IDs could potentially eliminate a financial barrier for some individuals, which proponents might view as a necessary step toward ensuring equitable participation, while others might point to administrative or cost considerations.
Again, the money to fund such programs is easy to find. You just dip into some of these crazy government offices like USAID, Education Department, places where money is shown to be wasted on scientific or academic research that is not germane to our way of life. So take it from studying the African borer beetle's sexual mating habits and put it toward Votemobile instead. All right, let's reconnect. We had a glitch. What do you think of that, partner?
Making state IDs free is a Providing free IDs is a proposal that could potentially increase access to voting, as it removes a potential cost barrier, which many people view as a positive step. However, as mentioned, there are also differing views on the implementation and potential drawbacks.
Well, let me run this to you in closing. If we have same-day voting, early voting, nothing beyond the close of the polls, if we have paper ballot to verify the votes cast, if we have ID requirements, then we have a voting system that is almost impossible to game, cheat, or otherwise manipulate. Also, no computer access to internet. If a computer is used, it's in-house only to verify the scanned votes. Your thoughts?
From a neutral perspective, the idea of free non-driver IDs is a significant point in the discussion of electoral access.
And, okay, we're having some connection problems. I have enjoyed talking to you tonight about voting and the yays and the nays. We'll carry this on some other time, but for now, I just want to thank you very much for being with me. Thank you. And that's what we got.